So I'm hoping I can get to the point of what I want to say relatively quickly. But I have been going to therapy with my son, who is 14, since October. And then I recently started going on the off weeks by myself to the same therapist. And today we started something called art therapy, accelerated resolution therapy. So you've got EMDR and you've got this, art therapy, not art. Like I said, accelerated resolution therapy. And I have been doing counseling or therapy off and on since I was 10. So a very long time. And when it comes to therapy, I've done many different kinds of therapy. I feel like I've worked through all of the things from my childhood, from my first divorce that I was, in, from the very traumatic relationship I was in after that. And then I got remarried to my kid's dad, and that was 15 years ago. And we have now been divorced for almost 5 years. We separated almost 5 years ago. And with that relationship, there is so much to unpack. And I've done therapy after we split up, and I thought, lots of things were worked through. However, in the last 5 years, there has been so much more that has occurred. So we decided to start this art therapy. And today was a pretty monumental session. The point of art therapy is you use eye movement and you use bringing up not visions, but like what you can see, images, and then you're able to pull emotion from that, and then hopefully at some point there's no longer emotion attached to that specific image, that type of thing. So we did some of that today, and it was quite remarkable. I had a really awesome experience. I was able to get to the bottom of a couple of things, and it has to do with my kid's dad. He causes a lot of anxiety for me subconsciously, consciously, and I really have to figure out what to do with that. So this was a big step for me today. Again, because I did a lot of work when we first separated, and there's been a whole bunch of crap in the last 5 years that has transpired, and I have to just really do some things to make sure that I am in a really good place. Also, in that 5 years, just life has happened, right? Just normal everyday life stuff. Job change last year, right? Left my job, started my own business, just all kinds of stuff. And so today was quite monumental. And I work as a health and wellness coach. I build the nutrition plans. We have an app, like all of the things. Mindset is the number one focus, because I know for a fact that if your mind and your mental state and the mindset's not in a good place, if your stress is too high, you're not regulating your nervous system through lowering your stress, your body will be unresponsive. And I know this because I've done so much work on myself. And getting this part of my therapy started, I am very excited because I know it's going to be able to help other people down the road. So if you're someone who is struggling with seeing body composition change, you are stressed beyond belief, you haven't worked on trauma, you haven't worked on stressors and relieving stress, you haven't gone to therapy, you haven't worked through your shit, you have to do it. You have to do it. Your physical body will never get where it wants to be and sustainably stay that way unless you go down that road and you do that work. It's harder. It's much harder than going to the gym. It's much harder than exercise and the food and all of that, but it's totally worth it. And I know from my own experience and from working with around 500 people over the years that if you do not do this mindset piece, it's not going to matter. You're going to go right back to what you were doing before. So that's my 2 cents for today. And I think I'm getting back to the point that I want to make, where I am human. I also see a therapist. I do the mindset work. I focus on gratitude every single day. I do all the things that I ask my clients to do as well. And I'm sharing it with you because it's of high importance. This is a high stress world. There is so much going on. There are things we can control and there are things we cannot control. And taking care of your mind is absolutely something you can control. And if you take care of your mind, your body will follow. So hopefully that helps someone.